This is not the video I wanted to have to make on my return. Um, Before we start, sorry about the break. I'm back. I'm gonna do a quick recap video on the events I missed. Not like go over them, because obviously you've probably all watched another YouTuber go over it. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna say, my thoughts on the events and just a full recap video, and then after that, we'll be right back on schedule. I gotta make a Cyril Gone video. I was gonna do. Um, I'm gonna make a lightweight matchmaking video. We got a lot of videos to make, so I'll get on that. This was not the video I wanted to make on my return. If you guys watched my last video, you know that Dustin Poirier is my favorite UFC fighter of all time. And he just got arrested. Now, it was just for public intoxication, which on the surface doesn't seem like a big deal, but I'm gonna pull up the video. Give me a second. I'm gonna pull up the video, and yeah, it's not great. And I just want to go over the path I don't want Dustin Poirier to go down post retirement. And I want to go over some things that Dustin said. But first, I want to just play the video for those who haven't seen it. I'm sure you all have, but just for those who haven't. Well, work with me here, guys. Yeah, there we go. We'll do that. So this was actually in Atlanta. What Dustin's doing in Atlanta, I don't know. I know it's near Louisiana, obviously, the state of Georgia, and Florida, which is where ATT is. So maybe he was just going. There's no UFC event taking place in Atlanta right now, so I don't know what he was doing in Atlanta. But regardless, let me just go ahead and play the video for y'all. You can tell he is like he's emotionally unstable right now. You hear the voice cracking, but he's angry. And again, he's drunk, so he's not in his right mind. But let me just I hate to watch something like this, bro. I know I'm all somber and sad, but dude, if I'm a cop and Dustin Poirier, fresh off retirement, on all kind of TRT, who knows what, you know what I mean? I think he said in interviews like 180 right now. Brother, I'm pulling out my gun. Like, I'm pulling out my gun. I'm saying, no, I don't want to fight you. But if you come one step fucking closer to me, I'm blowing your brains out. Like, and to be serious for a second, that scares me. That scares me that I know that there is a cop who will think that. And I understand why they think that. Because you're not going to beat Dustin Poirier in a fight. I don't care how trained you are. This guy was the top level of MMA. Almost a world champ, fought for a belt 3 times, and is an interim champ. Like, you're gonna be scared even if you're a police officer, if you know who Poirier is. And my fear is that one day a cop's gonna be like, man, I'm just gonna shoot this guy. And I really, really don't want to see a headline of drunk UFC fighter shot for getting aggressive with an officer, and I click on it and it's Dustin Poirier. I don't want to see that. And I know none of us do. I saw a video of Bobby Green. I'm not going to play it because I don't feel like searching it up right now. Where he was like, man, just everybody mind your own business. Now, to be fair to Bobby Green, this is before the video came out. He was like, I can't get drunk on a Father's Day. Why on Father's Day? Now, obviously, Dustin's not, I don't think he's with his kid here unless his wife and daughter are, somewhere else in the airport and just got separated from Dustin. I don't know, but I don't know. Let me just let the video. Did Justin almost say the N word there? Hold up, I'm sorry. Did he say my N word almost? Yo! Wait, Dustin almost said the N word. Dude, does Dustin have the pass? I don't know. Let me continue. So it's gonna be bad, my N word. Like, and stuff like that too, man. Give me a good one. He just wants to fight, it seems like. He said in a clip, I think it was at the White House, how he was talking about struggling. I think he also says on an old podcast where he's like, if I don't have something circle my calister, I'm a danger to myself. And in this video, I'm going to go over what I would recommend for Dustin. I know I'm obviously not a fighter. I haven't been to the top of the sport, world champion opponents, getting an interim belt, beating and fighting the best of the best. I haven't been there, but I've seen the past fighters go post retirement. And I'm gonna go over what I want and what I really don't want to happen for this man. I hope y'all can't hear that loud lawnmower outside. Now, he complied, obviously. But like I said, stuff like this scares me. And the first thing I want to say, for the love of God, Dustin, do not end up like BJ fucking Penn. Please do not end up like BJ Penn, who was a former legend of the sport. Now, Dustin's got a chin on him, so I don't think he's gonna have something like this happen to him in the street. But a former legend of the sport who was getting knocked out in street fights. Is this him in this picture right? No. This is him choking out the guy who knocks him out eventually, I'm pretty sure. And then this big freaking jiggly guy right here knocks BJ Penn out cold. But don't end up like this. Please don't. We all know the stuff with BJ Penn, the fucking my mom's a clone, I look at her ass, stuff like that. We know that stuff, but like we've seen some horror stories with post retirement MMAs, and I was really worried about Tony Ferguson. Thankfully, Tony has found something. RAF. I wish you wouldn't do the boxing. I wish you'd retire on top there. But the boxing, stuff like that, he's found something to do. And I know Dustin's obviously not going to do something like RAF, but maybe compete in jiu-jitsu tournaments. You know what I mean? Maybe do a Mighty Mouse, compete in jiu-jitsu tournaments, maybe do some videos, get some interviews with some fighters. I know Dustin's not the most, Now, who am I kidding? Dustin is a pretty charismatic guy. Like, in interviews, he's usually pretty entertaining. Except for, like, right before a fight. But, like, before he retired, just, like, podcasting, he was an entertaining guest. You know what I mean? Now, does that mean he'd be an entertaining host? I don't know. But it'd be something to do. Jiu-jitsu tournaments. He's a black belt in, even though Makashev, who gave him this? But he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. why not compete in jiu-jitsu tournaments? You know? And another thing he could do is follow in the footsteps of one of his coaches, Mike Brown. Maybe go to ATT. You don't even have to coach top guys. You don't even have to be a corner man. Maybe just stop by ATT from time to time. Give, some set. Is that him actually? No, that ain't him. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was Dustin for a second. But then I was like, oh, no, I don't got a mustache. Compete. Spar with somebody. Maybe train with some of the lower ranked, contenders in the gym. Don't even go with the top guys. Don't even go with Bo Nickel. Guys like that. I can't think of any other ATT guys off the top of my head right now. Just compete with some maybe unranked, interesting contenders. You know, and just get you to do something. Now, I know ATT's in Florida, and I think Dustin's living in Louisiana again. But that's not like a crazy trip. You know what I mean? You can stop by to Florida for like 2 or 3 days and go back home, every now and then. But find something. And I know he's doing the analyst thing as well. But I just don't think I see. Like, Dustin just doesn't strike me as an analyst. He strikes me as a guy who wants to be still involved and not in just a looking at it and giving his opinion on it type of way. He wants to be helping people in his best, his best effort. So maybe head down to ATT, talk to Mike Brown about it, talk about his transition from being a fighter. Mike Brown was a WEC champion and then eventually retired, and he's doing great. So just talk with Brown. Maybe just talk about, hey man, maybe I can help out with the sparring of some of these guys. Maybe not even heavy sparring, just light sparring. Maybe I could teach him some of my stuff. Since I'm retired, I don't really care anymore if I reveal my stuff. Stuff like that. I just think that would be pretty cool. I know he said he wants to spend time with his daughters too, or daughter. So I don't know. But please, Dustin. When I first saw it was just a public intoxication, I was like, okay, that's not that bad. Then I saw the mugshot, and I was like, I mean, he doesn't look awful, but is a little red-eyed, stuff like that. Probably definitely had too much to drink. And then I saw the video, I was like, I can see that going wrong. I can see that going wrong. And it's crazy seeing this picture here of McGregor. McGregor is gonna fight soon. McGregor's gonna fight. Gaethje is a world champion. Dustin knocked both of those guys out. Now, I know Gaethje knocked him out and McGregor knocked him out too, but Dustin knocked both of those guys out. And Gaethje's on top of the world, and McGregor's looking to take over the industry again, honestly, at least with being the most talked about athlete. And Dustin's here. I don't like that. So, coming from a huge Dustin Poirier fan, Dustin, please get back on track, brother. We love you. And do not take these videos, because I'm definitely not me the only one making it, the wrong way. We're making videos like this because we don't want you to go down this path. So, yeah, last words, y'all know how I feel about Dustin. He's my favorite fighter ever, so, stay away. I know he's retired, but maybe back off the alcohol a little bit. Just for a little bit. You can. I'm not here to tell people to not drink. That's not my field. But maybe just back up for a little bit. Just get your mind straight. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna serve any jail time. It's just public intoxication. He'll probably just pay a bail or a fine or whatever. I don't know how it works. And he'll be good. But yeah, we'll see. Get well soon, Dustin. I hope y'all enjoyed. I'm gonna be recording another video back to back here, so um, yeah, I'll do that. It'll be uploaded like tomorrow, so don't expect it today. But I'm gonna have some videos in the chamber. I'm back. Um, had a lot of interruptions, let's say, in the personal life of myself that stopped me from doing stuff like this. But we are so back. Yeah. Hope y'all enjoyed. I'll see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.